Hey guys, so for this series I decided that I would go through a bunch of story planning, world building, and character planning websites and apps and go through them, show what things I like, show everything that the website has to offer, and then say what I like or don't like about it. I don't world build because I don't do fantasy stories, but I have found a few world building websites that I figured I would at least dive into for any viewers that may be fantasy writers and are looking for new ways to go about their story planning. So in this particular video, I went ahead and visited Charahub, which I've never used before, but I saw it on the Discord server that I am a part of and decided to try it out just for the purposes of this video. Normally all I do, and you guys have seen it, is that I take a notebook, I write down my character's name, and I list their height, birthday, hair color, eye color, and sometimes if they have freckles, glasses, if they're abnormally thin, or the other end of the scale, anything like that. I don't do a lot of character descriptions because I don't know much about my characters until I start writing, because my characters develop themselves. Some people aren't that way, and they develop their characters entirely before they start writing a story, and that's totally okay. And some of those people like to answer questions about their characters in like those really long sheets that have questionnaires, that's what they're called. And I'm not one of those people usually, but I did decide to do it for this one with Bo, just so that way I could show you guys the website and show you what it had to offer. So I'll go through and show the video here. I'm going to cut bits and pieces out so it's not super long. I did my best to keep it as short as I could. And then there will just be a little narration over that to show you what I was doing, yada yada yada, and then at the end I'll throw a what I thought of the website in, just so that way you guys know my overall thoughts. So, let's get into it. So for Charahub, I decided to use Bo Austin because he's my favorite character and I know the most about him. So I created a new character and filled in Bo's name, including his middle name, just so that way I had it. So right at the beginning there were places to fill out his age and his nickname, birthday, a short description, all of that. That kind of thing is useful to me, and it is the kind of thing that I normally fill out on a short description on my notebooks, and I did find great use in that particular section of the website. So in all honesty, Zodiac is not something I pay attention to, so after I filled out his birthday, I actually did have to go find out which Zodiac he was. So there are a lot of questions here on the actual questionnaire part to fill out, and to save a lot of time, I filled all of those in off camera, so that way you guys didn't have to watch me type out every single one. Alright, so for just a brief moment here, I'd like to talk about the personality types. I normally do not do those for my characters. I don't believe in basing a character completely off of a personality type because it's impossible to read one person based on 4 letters. That's how I feel about it. So I did take a test for Bo just to fill it out, and if you prefer to take those tests for your characters, the link to the one I used is down in the description box. So after I created the group, I decided to add another character. I chose to add Jensen so that way I could test out how the link section worked on the character planner. Alright, so like I said before, story planning the way that Charahub does it isn't really my kind of thing. I don't normally do that. But that being said, I actually thought it was relatively useful and could be used for the kind of purposes that I use with my characters. It gave me the options that I normally use, which is, you know, name, height, yada yada yada, all of that. That was still in there, which is the part that I find incredibly useful. There was another section that I didn't actually fill out, but you could put a photo of what you think your character would look like there. And once I finish drawing the way that I think Bo definitely looks, I am slowly getting closer to that. I'm actually relatively happy with the last drawing that I did of Bo. But if I continue using Charahub, I would put his picture there. I do believe that there is a paid-for version of Charahub that you can have more than 100 characters, but the free version is 100 characters. That is the one other thing I definitely recall from there. But overall, it was relatively useful. There were a few questions that definitely don't pertain to me or any of my characters. There was one asking about what Harry Potter house they belong to, I think, and I haven't read Harry Potter because fantasy isn't my thing. Neither is magic. But if that's the kind of thing you're into and that's the kind of thing that you enjoy and it helps describe your characters, it's there. There are a whole bunch of questions that can pertain across the board, and I know there was an extra place somewhere on there where you could add another few sentences about your character and whatnot, but none of that pertained to me. And there were also sections that if there was a question that would never apply to any of your characters, you could totally erase that, so that way it wouldn't keep appearing whenever your characters, whenever you were making a new character. But I did that a couple times, I think. Definitely one on the Harry Potter and maybe a few other times, but I don't remember 100%. And then at the bottom of that little book that I was filling out on screen, there was a place where it said manage erased questions or whatever, and you could bring those deleted questions back so that way you could continue answering them and whatnot. Again, I don't really think it's something I'm going to continue to use or anything like that. I did think it was useful that it allows you to link the characters to each other once you create them and add them to groups and all of that. And for that specific purpose, I could see it being useful, but in the sense of answering all of the questions, it's not useful to me. But if it is 100% useful to you, the link to Charahub is down in the description. If you guys have a suggestion for what website or app you want me to look at next to show you how to use it from a beginner's perspective, from a I've never used this website perspective, and you want to know if it's useful or if you just want to see me run through it to see my thoughts on it. Leave the name of that down below in the comments and I will get to it as soon as I can. Nonetheless, I will see you guys in the next video, either in this series or on this channel or in general. But either way, thank you guys for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.